Pisces, it's Marley from the Energy Boutique, bringing you your January 2023 energy forecast. So welcome to 2023. Happy New Year to you. Hopefully you had a good holiday season. However, coming into the year, you are in your dark season as you approach your birthday. So things are probably very heavy, very weighted, very difficult to actually navigate through. Coming into 2023, there's going to be a huge focus on relationships, on finding peace and harmony and balance in our lives once again. If you're interested in doing a deep dive in what 2023 has to offer, please go ahead and listen to the 2023 energy forecast that I put out for this whole entire year. I broke it down month by month. I specifically point out the highs and lows that you should probably be marking on your calendar. But just know that coming into 2023, it's definitely low, it's definitely slow, it's definitely heavy and weighted. So if you are feeling a little bit of depression, a little bit of, a lot of weight on that heart chakra, just know that is going to shift mid-month. So according to the modern day calendar, January would be the first month of the year, but we're actually coming into the last quarter of the traditional calendar. January is actually the 11th month of the year, which is a huge manifesting number. And we have Mercury, although retrograde in Capricorn energy, it's still in the manifesting energy of the Zodiac wheel, which means that, yes, there's a lot of looking back, a lot of reflection, a lot of aha moments that we need to kind of pluck out from our past experiences in order to gain insight and perspective on what direction and path we need to take from here. So regardless of which calendar you align with, just so you know, it's not really a time of action. It's not really a good time to start something new. You likely will not succeed if you try to do so. It would be better to visualize, to strategize at this particular point in time, and really kind of focus on bringing things to life mid-March. So we're coming into 2023, again, with a lot of heaviness, a lot of weight. We will see the beginnings of that energy be lifted on the 2nd, when Venus, the goddess of love and beauty and worth and pleasure, moves into Aquarius energy. She's been in Capricorn energy. It's been very low and slow, very serious and somber, very, very hard on the heart chakra, because we've had to kind of compartmentalize our emotions and just look at the matter of facts. Look at our self-worth, look at our self-value, look at our relationship dynamics, look at our money matters, and really discern what needs to stay, what needs to go, what makes us happy, who makes us happy, and who does not contribute to our overall happiness and joy. The Capricorn energy would likely illuminate where we feel blocked, where we feel restricted, where we are in alignment with roles, responsibilities, people, places, and things that are sucking the life out of us instead of adding to our happiness cup. The beautiful thing about this is that when Venus moves into Aquarian energy, we get to see the bigger, greater, grander picture. Even more than that, we get to come up with some solutions on how we can free ourselves from some of the restrictions and confines that we would have identified are alive and well while Venus was in Capricorn energy. Venus moving into Aquarius energy has us a little bit more fun and fancy-free. We're looking for independence. We are looking for liberation. We are looking to improve and progress our lives. We want to do better. We want to be better. But Venus moving into Aquarius energy is illuminating the 12th house that Pisces energy naturally rules over. So there's some endings here. And for many of my Piscean friends, they've been dealt some very tough love spiritual lessons over the course of 2022. That they were still in survival mode with. You haven't taken the time to actually accept these particular situations, as hard as they may be. There's been a lack of integration taking place there, and the 12th house brings it all full circle. There's a lot of endings in order for new beginnings to take place. There's a lot of, I'm going to say, spiritual life lessons that we can pluck out of examining particular relationship dynamics where they have ended, where they have begun, and where they need some tweaking. Now, the 12th house is the unconscious self. It is the hidden realm of our emotions, of our memories, of our thoughts. This is likely going to trigger and activate a huge release for you, but also kind of rewrite the perspective in the storyline that is a much better perspective than the funk that many of my Piscean friends are currently sitting in. Pay attention to the new insights that come in, to the dreams that you're having, to the new inspirations that are coming into the mental plane. Pay attention to what your heart is calling out for you to pursue from here, and pay attention to who comes in and crosses your path at this particular time, as it is very divinely fated that we are connecting with like-minded people that will better our long-term goals. So on the 6th, we have our very first full moon taking place in 2023. It's taking place in Cancer energy. So that's a sister water sign to you, which means that this won't be nearly as emotional, nearly as jolting to you as it will be for other signs. The full moon is bringing something to light, bringing something to an end, bringing something to a closure. And we have to go back to June, July of 2022 when we had the new moon in Cancer in order to figure out what that is. Now, it's going to be revolving around the Cancer topics and themes, which is the home, the family dynamic, the mother role, the mother relationship, and where boundaries have been tested and in some case totally destroyed. This is a good indication on where it is that we need to flip the script and actually get into our heart space, trust our intuition on where it is that we need to pull back from pouring into other people's lives so that we can start taking care, nurturing, and nourishing ourselves back to a place of health and wellness. So this full moon is going to be sitting across from both the sun and Mercury retrograde in Capricorn energy. And this is going to put a little bit of a crossroads energy, a choice point dynamic on where it is that we want to go from here. Now, this full moon in Cancer is going to be illuminating the 5th house for you. That's the heart chakra. So there's likely going to be huge heart chakra activations for you to release the pain, release the trauma, release the guilt and grief in order for you to let that guard down and open yourself up for love, for connection, for creativity, for playful energy, for joy and happiness once again. It's likely not going to feel good, but once you get on the other side of the full moon, you're definitely going to feel a little bit lighter, a little bit more hopeful, a little bit more positive, and definitely not carrying as much weight on that heart space. So on January 12th, we have Mars going direct in Gemini energy. Mars has been in Gemini energy for quite some time now, like honestly, close to 7 months, went retrograde at the end of October and really kind of stunted our ability to make things happen, to exert ourselves, to identify what it is that we want to do with ourselves. So Mars has been agitated, frustrated, even angered because he's not been able to be forceful out in the external realm. He's been stuck in this internalized journey of exploring different thoughts, different ideas in the mental plane. Mars going direct means that A, we're going to get some physical energy back to actually like go out in life and actually do things. B, identify new passions, new desires, new inspirations, new motivations that we actually want to pursue. And C, just kind of gain a little bit of clarity and make up for some lost time. Now, Mars is going direct at 8 degrees in Gemini energy, and that is important. And we will cover that in just a second. But just so you know, Mars is going to go direct in Gemini energy, affecting your 4th house of home, of family dynamics, of new foundations being built. And if you take a good look back on, I'm going to say the past 6-7 months, you would realize that you really didn't have control over a lot where the home and the family dynamics were concerned. And you just kind of had to sit back and watch things, I'm going to say, fall apart in order for you to discern where it is that your time, your energy, and attention is now needed the most. So having Mars go direct in Gemini energy in the 4th house means that you're going to have the physical energy to put the pieces back together. You're going to have the insight, the clarity, the path, the direction needed in order to pursue new adventures, new aspects of creating a safe, secure, stable foundation for yourself and for those that you love, now that you're recreating what this home and family dynamic actually looks like. Now, on the 18th, is when Mercury goes direct at 8 degrees, the same degree that Mars is going direct in Gemini energy. Mercury, who rules over Gemini energy, is going direct in Capricorn energy. And this is important because Mercury in Capricorn energy is a huge manifesting energy. We have the ability to focus on something, an idea, a goal, a project, and the Capricorn energy helps us bring it to life, especially where our long-term goals are concerned. So Mercury going direct in Capricorn energy is illuminating your 11th house. Your 11th house is the vision, the dream that you're now trying to refine and get clarity on, what it is that you want to manifest, new hopes, new wishes. This is new connections. This is new networks, new communities that you are eventually going to be a part of over the course of 2023 by identifying very clearly where it is that you want to set your sights on from here and what it is that you want to manifest over the course of this year. Now, Mars and Mercury, ruling over our physical energy and over our mental plane, going direct within a week of each other in the exact same degree in Gemini and Capricorn energy means that we're going to make up for some lost time. We're going to be hella productive here. Whatever it is that we focus on, we have the ability to muster up the courage, the bravery, the physical energy in order to actually bring it to life. So Mars being in the 4th house, Mercury being in the 11th house, you're definitely going to have to recreate a new vision, a new dream, new hopes, new wishes for your home and for the family dynamic within it. Now, on the 20th, we have the sun moving out of Capricorn energy, moving into Aquarius energy. This is going to help lighten the vibe just a tad, but you are still in your dark season. So, it's not going to be a major transformation. But the sun moving in Aquarius energy is illuminating this 12th house. So it's almost like you're gaining a bigger, broader perspective of the past, of why certain soul contracts kind of fell apart the way that they did, why you had to learn, certain spiritual life lessons, where it is that you have to kind of give yourself permission to run through some of the past situations and experiences that you were in survival mode, that you didn't get a chance to sit and really process, that you didn't, find closure with. This is going to be a prime opportunity for you to do this releasing, this purging, this renewal, this resurrection of self prior to your birthday. Now, the new moon in Aquarius takes place on the 21st at 1 degree, 33 minutes, which is the exact same degree that we had the new moon in Capricorn in on December 23rd. That's important also in your 12th house because this sets the tone for the new karmic cycle that we will be working through for the next 2 years. So set your sights on the new goals, the new vision, the new dreams, the new hopes, the new wishes that you want for yourself. Identify what it is that you want to see get better, where it is that you want to do better. Think outside of the box, come up with some solutions. Take a look at, some of the obstacles and challenges, restrictions and confines that you've identified over the past of your experiences and come up with ways to free yourself. This is about liberation. This is about freedom. This is about independence. This is about being unconventional, coming up with an idea that may have you kind of dancing to the beat of your own drum. This is the 12th house energy of endings, preparing you for a brand new beginning when your birthday hits. So on the 22nd, we have Uranus, the Great Awakener, going direct at 14 degrees in Taurus energy. This will be illuminating your 3rd house. The 3rd house is the mental plane. It's new information coming in, new perspectives emerging, new understandings kind of being had. This is a new way of expressing yourself, of communicating your inner realm to the outer world. And Uranus brings a wild card energy. He brings, the whole element of expecting the unexpected. There's going to be a dramatic shift. There's going to be a dramatic change. There's going to be a shakeup. There's going to be a wake up to your physical realm. It's in Taurus energy. So this is going to impact maybe like your routines or your relationships or the way that you're making money, the skills and the talents that you're using to make money. This is going to impact, your perspective, new ideas coming in on what it is that you can build, what it is that you can create from here. The last 5.5 months of Uranus being retrograde in Taurus energy should have illuminated you to where the blockages are, where it is that you're too overly attached to people, places, and things and keeping things the same just because they're comfortable and predictable. And now Uranus is going to shake us up like a snow globe in order order to see where it is that we can make some changes, and that where we are a little bit, I'm going to say, less resistant to the changes that we know that we need to make. And for you, this is mental narrative, this is perspective, this is understanding, and this is learning how to kind of communicate your wants, your needs, your desires for safety, security, and stability in a much more confident way. Lastly, on the 26th, we have Venus, the goddess of love, beauty, worth, pleasure, and money, moving into Pisces energy, shining a light on your first house of self. So this is a little bit of a taste on what it is that you can expect for your birthday season. Now, Venus moving into Pisces, especially in this first house of self, has you kind of re-emerging out of the darkness, out of the pit, out of the depression that you have been in. This is a glow up. This is when you need to take care of yourself. This is when you need to re-emerge as the newest version of yourself. This is when you have to kind of discern the past from the present. This is where you have to kind of cut the cord with some of the pain, some of the trauma that has you kind of in a funk, in a state of depression as of now, and understand that cycles, circles, and seasons are something that will never change. And you're moving into a brand new season where you are going to have to kind of cut the cord with some of the tough love life lessons that were thrown at you in 2022. So Venus, who is in love with love in Pisces energy, who is just so deep in feeling, so deep in the magic of the universe, so deep in imagination and fantasy. You know, this is going to be great if you're a creative person because the creativity is coming back. So if you're into art or music or writing or decor, wherever you've been stunted out in your creative process, that's going to come back twofold. It's also going to put you in a different situation, more compassionate, more empathetic, more sensitive to the people around you. So you want to make sure that you are surrounding yourself with the best kinds of people. Overall, Venus moving into Pisces energy is just going to have to, bring the love back, especially in the way that you see yourself. It is going to be a very, I'm going to say, overwhelming type of energy as we work through, where it is that we're walking away from old parts of self and where it is that we are having to prepare to embrace this new version of ourselves that, of course, is a work in progress. You will get your full renovation of self, your full upgrade on your birthday. So some of the messages that I would like to leave you with so you can concentrate on these particular topics and themes as you move throughout the month of January. The first one is really having the attitude of gratitude for the people that have proven that have your back. So my Pisces friends, they've gone through a lot of painful life experiences over the last year, actually technically 2.5 years, but the bulk of it was in 2022. And you really got a clear vision on who has your back and who doesn't. Now, there's been a lot of friendships, a lot of romantic relationships, a lot of business partnerships that maybe were not strong enough to stand the test of times and fell apart. But those that are still around and those that stepped up to help you when you needed it the most, this is the time to have the attitude of gratitude and start pouring back into these relationships to take them to a new level of commitment. This is a new phase of, I'm going to say, intimacy, of connection, of love, of worth, of value. And it's very, very important, especially because we are moving into a year where relationships are the main focus, and especially where Venus, the ruler of relationships, will be moving into Pisces, into your sign, that you take the time to really reflect back on who actually showed up for you, who is worthy of your time, your energy, your love, your attention, and to really kind of rebuild a solid foundation on how this new level of connection and intimacy is going to form over the course of the new year. There's a lot of options available to you right now. It won't feel that way because you're kind of still in the funk and in the darkness, but you have a lot more options and opportunities available to you now than you ever did before. A lot of that is because you're going through a reinvention of self, a rebranding of self. But you have to get very clear on what it is that you actually want for yourself, because I think that you're so confused and so overwhelmed with life right now that you just don't know what's next. And we do not want you moving into a brand new natal year just kind of not having an idea of what it is that you want for yourself or what it is that you want to manifest or experience, because then the universe is just going to start throwing wild card situations at you to see what it is that you do want, what it is that you don't want. And I would really prefer that you take the time to identify the kind of goals, the kind of experiences that you actually want to manifest. There is this element of giving yourself a little bit of a mental vacation, if you will. I feel like you are trying so hard to push through and keep a happy-go-lucky demeanor and face on. Again, a part of that is because you're still in survival mode and haven't given yourself the time to grieve, to accept, to process all the things that really pushed you to your limits over the last year. And I think that if you were just to get real and raw and vulnerable with yourself and put the mask down and just acknowledge and accept the fact that you've been through some very challenging, tough love life lessons, that you're absolutely exhausted, that you don't know if you're coming or going, you don't know the old from the new. I think if you were to get real about that and just give yourself permission to just curl up in a ball and just, let the emotions come over you, let them, come to your attention so that you can release them, you can process them. It will essentially restore, revive, renew your soul and your spirit. And again, you're in your dark season. There's a lot of undoing happening right now in order for your new natal year to get off to a good start. So please take the time to invest in yourself before you enter into your birthday season to identify what it is that you want to experience, who it is that you want to become, and most of all, what it is that you need to leave in the past and leave behind. I'm sending you so much love. I hope you have a beautiful 2023, a beautiful start with January. And of course, I just wish you nothing but the best. We will talk to you soon.